you see, we are living in strange times when a state of our country is burning and there is a civil war on, and our prime minister barely made a statement on Manipur when he was forced to do so by the opposition, and he never considered it even significant to visit the state, primarily, as I perceive, because for him, seats in the Lok Sabha is all that matters, and since Manipur hardly account for any significant portion of representation in the Lok Sabha seats, he is not concerned. I sit in the northern part of India, the heartland near Delhi, a place called Meerut, and around me, people were, thrilled when Article 370 was abrogated, and as if a great thing, some victory has been achieved over Pakistan, something like that. And they do not even register a very significant fact that BJP, which was proclaiming what a great job they have done in Kashmir, has shied away from even fighting elections in the Kashmir Valley. The three seats they are not even contesting. So this is the, and I mean, you had things like police weapons being captured by the terrorists and not returned, and a home minister requesting people to return the weapons. I mean, strange kind of things have been going on. Anyway, these are the times in which we live. uh, we are fortunate to have two of our students who are from Manipur, and who are now going to explain to us as to what really is transpiring there. It is very sad for all of us to note that what all wrong things are going on, and as a society, we have really done nothing much about it. So, no, I mean, nor have I done much, except that my sympathies are there, and so also of all students of Nofil's Academy, and I presume the people who follow us on YouTube care to listen to what all we discuss and share. So I hope it does have some impact on this very tiny portion of our society. So, with this as a background, I will now invite Lin Zhang to please start the presentation, and then Mang will join him to explain the details. Please ask your questions to gain clarifications as to what all is going on, because questions will be able to give us a better picture of what all is transpiring and give us a clarity. Fine. So over to you, Liz. Thank.
Uh, okay. Good morning, everyone. Today, good morning to the Northwest Academy team. Today, I will be giving a presentation on the current situation of Manipur, which has been going for more than a year now. Uh, let's first, I will like to explain a little bit of history, its people, how it started, the accusation, and the current situation. Then on. Let's start. Firstly, Manipur consists of two areas: the valley area, which is dominated by the Meitei community, and the hill areas, which completely surrounded by the valley, is dominated by the tribals. As you can see, the red area, which is the Meitei dominated area, and the other part which dominated by the Kuki-Zo and Naga communities. The tribals consist of different communities like Zomi, Kuki, Mar, Naga, and other various tribes, which only takes up 40% of Manipur's population, which only gives 20 out of 60 seats in the state legislative assembly. So out of only out of 60, only 20 seats is available, which gives no room for fair representation in the state. And although 90% of state is hill areas, the budgetary allocation for developing the hill areas has never crossed 10% of the state's budget. Uh, Moving on, Manipur's history is no doubt filled with violence and ethnic tensions between different communities, which resulted in the formation of many insurgent groups in the region. No doubt, almost all of the hill-based insurgent groups like Zomi Revolutionary Army, Kuki National Army, Mar People's Convention, and other tribal insurgent groups are under the suspension of operation agreement, which which meaning that all their cadres and weapons are in a designated camp and closely monitored by the government. And the opposition, as in the Meitei community, the valley-based insurgent groups like People's Liberation Army, United Nation Liberation Front, Coordination Committee, CORCOM, and many other are still labeled as terrorist organization under Section 35 of Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967 and currently plays a major role in the current conflict as well. Uh, a bit extra, let's just say, note, Armed Forces Special Act, which is implemented in the state of Manipur. The funny thing is that although in our situation, in the current situation of Manipur, where all of the violence took place in the valley area, which is dominated by Meitei, Armed Forces Special Act is not there in the valley, but instead implemented in the hilly areas, which leaves no room for the central forces to maintain law and order. Okay, moving on, the Meitei's accusation and justification for the ongoing civil war and ethnic cleansing. War on drugs, poppy cultivation. The Meitei Biren Singh current, which is the current chief minister of Manipur government, accused the Zomi Kuki community solely of cultivating poppy, producing and smuggling drugs throughout the state and even the country. These are their accusations. The fact is that this whole drug cartel was in fact run and protected by Biren Singh and the other high officials of the government of Manipur, and also not only on Zomi Kuki lands but also large plantations on Naga dominated lands as well. The hard truth is that even though some plantations were present in Zomi Kuki dominated areas, their involvement was merely on farming, while the production, distribution, legal protection was all provided by the Meitei kingpin. This was proven by a Meitei MPS officer, Brinda Sonaujam, in one of the biggest drug busts where the CM and some of his ministers were mentioned. She also publicly came out with this information in interview with Karan Thapar, which resulted in tons of backlash and death threats from our own people as well. Moving on to the next point, illegal immigration from Myanmar are immigrants from Myanmar are behind the drug cartel and current violence in Manipur. These are the accusations. The fact is that the Biren Singh government and his brainwashed people accuse the whole of Zomi Kuki people of being illegal immigrants and narco terrorists and blame all of Manipur's trouble on it. Since the state of Manipur, Nagaland, and Mizoram share the border with Myanmar, there are significant number of people from each communities, even from the Meitei community, who are residing in Myanmar, who are people of Myanmar. Even though each communities present in Myanmar have their own armed groups, all the armed groups who are in Myanmar, except for the Meitei community, are busy fighting the juntas. The accusation that armed illegal immigrants from Myanmar are the reason for the current situation is false and has been debunked by several high-level military intelligence agencies and government officials, as you can see below. And let's move on to the next slide. The start of the conflict. Conflict was sparked by the Atsum, All Tribal Student Union Manipur, which is a student organization, a tribal on Solidarity March on May 3rd, 2023 to protest against the inclusion of Meiteis in the ST, which sparked a counter blockade from the Meitei community. The march sparked a communal brawl and intensified with houses burned and gunfire opened from both sides in on the same day, that is after the march. Then the Métis communities, the Métis mobs took onto the streets of Imphal and all throughout Valley area led by Manipur police, Manipur commandos, Meitei Lipun and Meitei Arambai Tengul. Uh, Something to note is that Meitei Lipun and Arambai Tengul are a Meitei extremist group, armed group, and they started lynching, murdering, torturing, raping innocent Zomi Kuki men, women, and even children. Even after hearing all the news being heard of all the atrocities, the no Meitei civilians who were harmed, who were residing in the hill areas, none. And moving on to the next, after 8 months of violence, the bodies of 64 Zombie Kuki who have died by the hands of the Meiteis were airlifted home and later buried. No Meitei bodies to be transported as there were no deaths in the hill, only on the valley, which is dominated by the Meitei community. Chaos and lawlessness continues in the valley as the Metis community continues their lost cause by looting more than 4,000 weapons from state armory. Uh, Work of the army and central forces blocked by Metis women when trying to apprehend the miscreants and the guilty. You see, the central forces are trying to do their job, but the Metis, the Metis community, especially their women, uh, whenever they hear of this news, they just band together and stop the central forces from even moving an inch. Even even they used to stop them in their own camps as well. They what they usually do is uh, take off all their clothes. They just lie beneath the gate, screaming, shouting, which gives time for the armed miscreants and to run away and hide. Next is after all that has transpired, the BJP, who is the ruling party in the country and in the state of Manipur, still has not changed the chief minister, who is clearly incompetent and incapable of handling the situation, and further refused to implement president rule. Here, on the above, while this is from the Chief Justice of India, while hearing the Manipur violence case on August 1st, 2023, the Supreme Court bench, headed by the Chief Justice of India, remarked that there is complete breakdown of law and order and constitutional machinery in Manipur. If that's the case, then why no change in Chief Minister? Why not change in the whole government? Why not implement president rule if the chief minister is so incompetent for more than a year? And next, the state of Manipur has been and still is burning for more than a year now, and there is still no improvement. The death toll keeps on increasing day by day. No political solution achieved, no compensation or help for the displaced people from the government. Here in the, as you can see here, although I previously said 60 were airlifted, the others were burned alive, missing. If it was missing, then obviously they are dead. Okay, and the death count is 130, which is that too is only till August 18, 2023. It has risen significantly even after that. And churches, quarters burned, more than 357 houses burned, more than 4,550 settlements burned, more than 257 displaced person, more than 45,000. The solution, there's only one solution. Separation is the only solution. And to end my presentation, here are some reading materials if you can screenshot it and copy paste it on the internet. This is a drive which this is a book all the of all the evidences stacked up by our student organization from the Zombie Cookie student organization. They are all the facts. And the funny thing is that the Zombie student federation and the Cookie student organization, uh, while compiling all the facts and publishing the book, were actually filed an FIR. I think more than 14, if I'm not wrong. This is what we're battling. This uh, this is what we're fighting. A government who is openly lying to the people that there is nothing going on in Manipur, while in fact, just if I'm not wrong, last month one from the Zombie Cookie uh, volunteers who was captured, was tortured, mutilated, his hand decapitated, his face, his body dragged throughout the streets for people to see. This was not the only one. Uh, what I'm trying to say, we are fighting against uh, barbaric people. Yes, of course, there are lives lost on both sides. But if I'm to say that, honestly, the life lost from the Métis community weren't just civilians who are very innocent or they did nothing wrong, children, women. No, they're all men who were actively participating in this armed militia. They were fighting in the front lines, and all their deaths weren't even recorded or reported to the government or to their own people because uh, if they reported, that means it the place where they died were even in zombie cookie villages where they were ransacking the villages. They died ransacking villages, and if they reported it, that means they're admitting it to the fault. And if I'm not wrong, even though they didn't report it, more of their people, more of their armed people have died compared to our people. So to that, I would end my presentation. Thank you.
Let's thank. Yeah,
Yes.
Man, please make your contributions.
Hello, am I audible?
Man, please go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my friend has pretty much made clear about the situation, and I would like to add the fact that among the women who are paraded naked includes the wife of a former Kargil veteran who was also happened to be naked, paraded naked by the Meitei mob. And I felt this is a very shameful act on the part of the government as they are unable to protect their women and family of their Zawans who have sacrificed and do a lot for the country. And this is a very shameful act on the end. This is a very shameful and failure on the part of the government. And also, I would like to add to the fact that there are many things which shouldn't have happened in Manipur, India, the largest democracy in India. Sorry, the largest democracy in the world is happening, and the government is doing nothing to quell the violence. But instead, they haven't said even a word, nor have they visited one time the violence hit state, which they should have. Instead, our Prime Minister is busy visiting the foreign countries, but not his own country. which is burning right now, and there are many there are chaos and whatnot. And apart from this, also I would like to add that there are many injustice here, like your freedom of expression is being exploited. Suppose if you speak against the state government, you will be arrested by the police, or you will have an FIR filed in your name. So situations such as this are happening in Manipur. I don't know how to put it, but my friends has put it way better than I could, so I thank him for that. Apart from this, gentlemen, I would be happy to, since my friend has done the explanation, I will be happy to answer any queries if you have it.
Fine, fine. Thanks a lot, Mang.
Yes, sir.
Boys and girls, please go ahead, ask your questions.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
My question is, law and order is the responsibility of the state government. I don't want to comment on the differences of the communities. I also don't want to comment on the Manipur High Court directing state government to include the Methi community in the ST list. I just want to know how the violence could have been stopped. I think it could have been stopped.
Yes, Anzum, you're definitely right. The violence could have been stopped, absolutely. Yeah, and for that, the central government have just to implement president rule, which they should have a year ago since the state machinery has failed. And if the army takes control over the state, then they will be able to stop the violence at right on the spot, and which is what we have been fighting for, like impose president rule. But the government is turning a blind eye on our request, and that is why the violence is not stopped, and it is going on, and there is no arm retrieved.
Is the applying of president rule is the only solution? It is not in the hands of the state government.
Yeah, it is not in the hands of the state government, it's in the hands of the central, and which is why we are saying that the central government is turning a blind eye on the situation.
I just want to add a few things to what Mang has said. You see, the chief minister money machinery is playing a partisan role. It is not doing, justice. Are you getting the point? When the state government is partial, it cannot provide justice. And in any case, the aggrieved party, they do not have faith in the chief minister or the state government machinery. Fine, Anjum, that is the status.
Yes, sir.
Sir, my questions was from Liam Jithang, sir. That as he said that while providing the solution of it, he said that the separation is the only solution. So, is it, I mean, if you will see the map of the Manipur, then Methi community is living in the center, and it is surrounded by the Kuki and Jomi community and other tribes community. So, it is the only solution.
Yes, it is the only solution, because what type of person would go back to a place where they are murdered, lynched, and raped on the roadside?
Yes, I would like to add to the point that separation is the only solution. That is not, it is the voice of the people. It is what we felt as a citizens, and it is not unconstitutional, as our constitution have allowed us to form, as the parliament have the authority to form a new state, or they can, what I just forgot the term, but the Parliament of India under the Constitution have the right to form a new state and adjust the boundary as it sees fit. And why we call separation is the only solution is because our people have been killed in broad daylight, our women are raped, and there is no justice, and we don't feel safe to be in the Imphal, and we don't feel safe to live under the Metis anymore, as we are the minority and we have a less representative in the assembly, and our voices have not been heard for over decades and decades, and this is going against the this is going against the ethos of a democracy, and to hear our to have our voices heard, and to what and to have our rights, like not have our right to right to life, or right to speech or anything. We need some kind of autonomy from the Meitei government, so that we can live in peace with them as a neighbor, but not as in a same state. Just like India and Pakistan separated, or India and Bangladesh separated, they can't live together anymore, just like that. But we are not seeking separation from India, but only to form a new state, so that our people uh, uh, can live without fear and thrive as a community.
Okay, I got it. The thing was that I mean the center will be for the Meitei community and the surroundings will be for the tribal community, other tribal communities. Am I right?
That is right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
So to the separation, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Even if the government and constitution go for two states in Manipur, so my question over here is, do you think because the valley consists of 11% of the land and the hill area consists of 89% of the land, do you think if it can be divided into 11 89%, is it possible? And if it is possible, I don't think the government will go for it.
No, Anjum, you have to specify your questions. You are making a statement.
Uh,
Then only he can answer, na?
yes, sir.
Ask
So
a
the valley
clear
area
question.
consists of 60% population of the Manipur, sir. And the land they have is only 11% of the total Manipur land, sir. If the land is, or the state is being divided into two states, that is the valley and the hilly area, then 89% of the lands will go into the hands of Mang don't mind, into the hands of tribal community. So, sir, my question is, I don't think the government will do this.
Firstly, Anjum, you should understand that this is a situation right now. And the Meiteis cannot buy land in the hill areas. That is the accepted policy in the state. Thing is
So,
that when you see that area-wise from the map perspective, you see that the area for tribals is far more. The utility of that area is not as significant. And that is why, over a period of time, a far larger amount of population stays in the Imphal Valley rather than the hills. It's because of the geographical configuration.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
ठीक है ना
and
भाई?
sir, yeah, Anjum,
अंजुम ऐसा है ना, ग्रीनलैंड भी तो बहुत बड़ा है.
yeah. Yes.
ग्रीनलैंड में कितने लोग रहते हैं?
A few thousand, sir.
So that's what I'm saying. That's it. This thing, the productivity of the land, the utility and all that is not as much as of Imphal Valley.
Got it, sir.
Got it? In any case, the views are of Linstang and Mang, and I am not endorsing this view of separation. This is their view, and I want you to debate it out and see their perspective, and see where the sense lies.
So debate hasn't taken place yet, sir, after over a year of the violence, sir.
That's for the center to do, no? To get a team, to get a mediator, to bring about these talks and all that. They're not interested. I mean, that's what they have not done. Yes, any other questions? Fine. Okay, then I think there are no other points. Thanks a lot, Lynn and Mang, for making us aware. Our sympathies are there with you because government doesn't seem to be doing anything worthwhile. Hope things improve. Fine. Okay, all of you, take care. God bless. Bye bye.